Holt, 22 miles north of Norwich in rural North Norfolk, has a reputation as a genteel place steeped in history. It's a magnet for well-heeled visitors who often own second homes here and in the beautiful coastal villages nearby. But just as in big cities, there is also poverty and deprivation hidden in the countryside. One in 4 children in Holt are living below the poverty line, one of the highest figures in the region. On the old council estate, cut off from the town centre by a dual carriageway, local charity Holt Youth Project does what it can to help.
This is where the magic happens.
It supports vulnerable young people and also provides a place they can get together, something that's really difficult for kids to find in rurally isolated places.
Hi! Hi, Jess.
Hi!
Right, no cheating.
It's run by Julie Alford, who grew up on the estate and still lives here.
There's never been a high school in Holt, and it's a bit unique really for the size. Well, there's Gresham School, which is public school, but because there was no high school, that meant Holt didn't have other facilities for young people in the town.
I can see that must have took years of practice, that sound.
Then I could water.
There's nowhere else for them to go in the evenings, so it's about for them providing a safe environment for them to meet and socialise with the minimum supervision, but within that structure giving them activities that will benefit them.
Well done. I'll sit down, keep reading.
You've just been out in the cold waiting to come in, haven't you?
Yeah. About 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
Why do you come
30.
so early when you know you're going to just be standing in the cold?
Because at home we have nothing to do. Yeah.
Nothing to do at home?
No. We go get some Coke and bread every Thursday and then come here. Yeah.
So it's so good here that you're prepared to stand in the cold for half an hour?
Yeah. Yeah. Holy.
A lot of children who come here are from families trying to get by on low incomes.
Oh,
Say Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll hold him.
Rob is full-time carer for his wife Mel, who has long-term health problems.
Hi, Dad.
Hi mate, well done on getting your 100 merits.
And dad to 11-year-old Ben.
Come on then.
See you, Ben. Have a good Christmas.
And you, see you later.
See you later.
So when did you stop working?
I stopped working about 3 years ago, and that was to help Mel, so she became more ill.
With buildings more spaced out and often less heat efficient than in urban areas, and with mains gas frequently unavailable, heating rural homes costs much more than the national average. So how's the house heated, Rob?
Wood fire, open fires, coal.
Central heating?
Nope. The fire heats the radiators, which is our only source of, heating. We haven't got any gas or oil.
Have you got double glazing?
On a couple of the rooms, and that's it.
A government report last year estimated that over 7 million people are living in fuel poverty in England, and that it's going to get worse in the coming years. But unlike state fuel provision for pensioners, there is no extra help for rural households on low incomes. And how are you building up for Christmas?
Well, basically we've got a few bits and pieces for Ben, and we ordered off the catalogue, so we'll pay it off bit by bit over the course of next year and then start again.
How long does it take you to pay off?
Well, it usually takes us just over the year to pay off, but it needs must nowadays. You can't just go and pick money off trees, isn't there, so we do it that way.
What about the payday loan type schemes?
With their interest rates, I wouldn't touch them with a barge pole. They just legalise loan sharks.
Is there any light at the end of the tunnel for you financially?
If we win the lottery, yeah.
For nearly 20 years, Julie ran the youth group with her husband David on an entirely voluntary basis.
I'm going to make a big star.
We started off in our living room 27 years ago, I think, and did things there, like silly games and videos and barbecues in the garden and hikes, everything that didn't cost too much money, really.
How many people?
About 45 teenagers.
45?
Yeah.
So standing room only?
Standing room only. Mind where you put your hands.
3, 2, 1, go!
So how did you get this building?
With the help of some very lovely people who just heard our cry, really, and wanted to support their community and support the work we were doing.
The project is always struggling to raise money. It receives no public funding at all, but Norman Lamb, Care Minister and North Norfolk MP, is a patron, and Julie hopes he can help find some public money.
You can turn these young people's lives around, you know, that instead of being a burden within society, they can be an asset to their community.
Yeah, they can work and pay taxes and have a good life.
Make money.
Yeah.
The problem that I see as just someone that's, you know, down the line from where all the powers that be, is the fact that what we're doing with young people is recognised by the government, but it's not. They won't fund it.
Well, I have in mind dictating a letter to ask what potential sources of funding there might be. Does that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does that do it?
Yeah, it does it. Absolutely.
One last point that comes out of that. Do you think then that in the long term this sort of youth service should be funded by the state rather than being a charity case?
Well, I think it can be a mixture. I think the great power of this is actually its community base. You know, the fact that Julie comes from this community, that Dick and his colleagues on the board, these are people from the community. And I think if it just became a state thing, with state employees, it would change completely in character. I'm an enormously strong supporter of what they're doing, and I'll never cease to be amazed at what they can achieve. And what this woman achieves, you know, it's incredible. I don't know how you do it.
What about you, Vicky?
Well, what makes me really, really happy is when I get my next belt or a tag for karate.
Some of the main work the project does is support young carers, children who look after parents with disabilities or severe illnesses.
What makes you angry?
Well, I get angry when people start calling me funny names.
Yeah, that's not very nice. That's bullying, isn't it?
Yes.
Two of these are Vicky and Francesca, who help care for their disabled dad, John.
Bye all. See you.
Studies show that people with disabilities are being hit hardest financially by welfare reforms. And with the poorest people struggling most with rapidly rising food prices, a proposal for a new supermarket on the estate is dividing opinion in the town.
Well, we're for it because we've only got one, and that's Budgeons, and to be honest, for the people that have the pennies, it's not too bad. But we find it exceedingly expensive to shop in there, so we don't. It's cheaper for me to go into Norwich once a fortnight and do a big shop in Norwich at Tesco's or Asda's or something, because you get a lot more for your money. Come on then, girl, let's go home.
Yeah.
I'm in need of a cup of tea.
I think Mum's already made you one already for you.
Probably.
The number of children claiming free school meals in England has risen each year since 2008. Those in Holt who are eligible for them are also offered free karate classes by the school. These help to promote self-confidence and a sense of achievement as the kids advance through the martial arts belt system.
Hold.
How did Ben get into karate in the first place?
We just saw it one night and we thought, he said, oh, can I go along to it? We thought, normal fad, child, he'll go one night. One night turned in, he signed up straight away and he's been in it ever since.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So you're pleased he's doing karate?
Oh God, yeah, it's boosted his confidence. It's not made him a target for bullies, I would say, because he is confident.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Today they're taking part in a sponsored event to raise money for a local cancer charity.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's for the big C. I'm very proud to do it. And I have to do 1,000 techniques, 50 of those, 50 of those, 50 of those, 50 of those.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Do you know how much Ben's raised?
£102.
What would you do with £102?
£102 would be 2 weeks shopping. That would be a load of coal for heating, a load of wood, petrol for a couple of months. £102, a lot of money.
What would Ben do with £102?
I dread to think what he'd do with £102.
Give it to charity.
Would you?
Yeah.
I think we've just done it.
Oh, so go in.
Yeah.
Well done,
The prize for raising the most money goes to Lucy, who with her sister Amy is also supported by Holt Youth Project.
And you'll sleep well tonight.
On Wednesdays we meet with 2 different groups of young carers just to do things that they wouldn't able to do necessarily because of their role as a young carer within their family environment. So it's very much a me time for them.
In order to do activities with the young carers, Julie has to actually go and collect most of them from their homes, both in Holt and the outlying villages.
There's such real locations that they live in, and there's no public transport, there's no buses, there's no trains. And in some of the villages and places where we pick up, there's just 1 bus a week, which is horrendous really. So it'll probably be now a 2-hour run, to be honest, before we even do anything now because of the places where they're living.
The kids have been given a discounted Christmas dinner by a local restaurant. Who do you care for at home?
Mum. Because she's ill, very ill. She's had cancer for 5 years. And she's going to die sometime next year.
I didn't know that. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, so this may be her last birthday and Christmas.
I'm so sorry. There's a nasty myth that single-parent families are somehow responsible for their own misfortunes.
Yeah, haha. I'm going to my tree house. See?
Tree house?
Yes, we've got a tree house like this place.
Amy and Lucy's used to be an average family. Dad Gareth works as a taxi driver and breeds rabbits as a hobby.
Tree house!
Nikki's a working mum.
Stop. Hi! Hi!
Don't be silly.
But recently, the cancer Nikki's been fighting for several years has been diagnosed as terminal. How have the girls been affected up until now with Nikki's illness?
It's been a bit of a roller coaster. For 1 minute they're up and quite angry, the next minute they're down and being sad and crying. And because of their age, I don't know if they fully accept what is going to happen. That Nicola's not going to be around anymore.
You all seem very stoical or very calm.
When Nicola was first diagnosed, I was very emotional and upset. But since then, I've come to terms with what's going on and trying to make the best of what we got left. But with Nicola, she's calm on the front, but I know deep down she's terrified.
What will be the practical consequences for you as a family?
There's only going to be one wage coming in. Obviously there's the responsibility of raising the children just by myself. So as regards to my job, I don't know what's going to happen. We have very little savings. We don't have no life insurance cover of any sort. So it's going to be a real struggle finding the rent, council tax, electric bill, gas bills, water bills, plus food, without anything else on top. Wherever it comes to a point where I have to move and find a cheaper accommodation, whether I give up work, because a lot of people are better off on benefits than what single parents are, who's working and don't earn a lot of money. And you know, you've got to think of what's best for the children, how best to get the most money to support them.
Would you tell about why it's not really decorated for Christmas in the building?
Well, simply because for some young people and families, Christmas isn't necessarily a time for celebrating, because you know, they might not necessarily be able to afford as much as other families.
Have you sent Santa a Christmas list?
Yes, I have sent my Christmas list. It's very short though.
Do you know what's on Francesca's Christmas list?
I do as well. She wants a Furby. She's asked for a lot of things.
I know that families go into debt for Christmas because they want to please their children, they want their children to be like everyone else, and you know, that causes a lot of pressure.
Would you like a drink, Francesca? Orange or blackcurrant? Blackcurrant.
So for some families that's a difficult time.
And the children going back to school?
Well, the children going back to school, with some with excitement of what they'd had for Christmas, and others that would be very quiet or maybe tell a bit of a fib to not be left out or feel second-class citizen, really. But you have to deal with that without making them feel worse about things. So you have to, in some cases, kind of almost go along with it. What was the present that your tooth fairy brought you?
Coat hanger.
A coat hanger?
A coat hanger. Yeah, bye.
Coat hanger?
1, 2, 3, 4.
The youth project has never received funding from Norfolk County Council, and in any case the council axed their budget for youth services in 2011 due to government imposed spending cuts. But the project also provides services such as training, which could potentially qualify for other forms of council funding.
I've got a meeting with someone called Tim Ears who comes from Norfolk County Council. They're very supportive of our work in the way that they say that we're a role model for the county, but we've never been able to persuade anyone to from County Hall to give us any money. Norman came to see us on Friday. He knows we're struggling with funding, obviously, but this letter is like gold dust to me.
Where's the piece of paper that says this is the project, this is what it's about?
It's on the website.
That will be really important to have that, because then I can start to think about whether or not the project is going to tick my boxes.
Okay.
And it is about ticking boxes.
I know that.
Now, you may or may not want to be plugged into the system, but if you're not plugged into the system, you probably won't be able to access some of the funding streams. So does that help? Apart from the fact that I haven't come with a case of money.
No, it doesn't help.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
This is about joining stuff up and making sure people know what's happening here, the good work that's happening here.
We've got a really good bus now.
And I would love to be in a world where I had a big pot of money that I could just, dish out.
So would I.
But sadly, my world doesn't look like that.
Bye, Tim.
I'm just so frustrated because I just want to secure this work and I see the value of it. I see how it changes people's lives. And I don't know where to go to shout for help.
What did you do before you became ill?
What I still do, I'm a bookkeeper.
But you're still working?
I still work 1 day a week. I go out to work, but I still do a couple of people from home.
So when you're not well enough to work anymore, as a family you'll lose your income?
Yeah, but it'll be hopefully a gradual decline. But as we don't know what the time frame is, it's very difficult. When you're told it's months rather than years, who's to say it's not 12 months, 18 months, or it could be 6. No one's got a magic book to look at. The doctors have no idea. In some respects, if they did, it'd make it easier. But we're hoping it's longer rather than shorter.
I know I hate to say so, with your prognosis, obviously there's going to be a double hit for your family of just emotional tragedy and presumably a financial impact as well.
Yep.
Those things that sort of plague on your mind.
In all honesty, I try not to think about it too much. But obviously it is always there in the back of your mind.
Do you think about the girls' future? Do you have hopes and ambitions for them?
I do. I hope they both
Don't answer if you don't feel up to it.
I hope they both achieve everything they want to. I just hope they do the best they can. And if they want to go to college or university, I just hope that they manage to. Obviously finances and grants and everything will play a big part in that. I mean, Amy at the moment wants to be a nurse. Lucy just wants to own a Pagani Zonda.
What's that, a scooter?
A very fast car. In bright orange. We have told her that she'll need to find a millionaire to be able to afford one of those. But yeah, she's set her mind on that ever since she saw one on Top Gear. She set her mind on.
It's Saturday night, but fundraising for the youth project never ends.
Oh wow, hello Ellis. Have you got a new dress on? Did your mum buy it or your nan?
Mum.
Oh. We're going to a very posh dinner dance to support the Holt Youth Project's North Norfolk Young Carers Group. It's all been organised by North Norfolk Rotary. It's really lovely of them to do, and without them we wouldn't be able to deliver this service. A part of me feels that it's sometimes really embarrassing having to kind of almost beg, steal and borrow from your own community when money's tight anyway. It's not really fair, I don't think, but without them I don't know what we do. Oh my God, I love it. I'll try and get the girls back before I left. Come on then, lovely girls. But they can have a little dance and enjoy themselves. Forget their worries.
How much are they?
They're £1 each.
I'll have £10 worth, please.
That's right, good girl.
Thank you very much. Thanks, girls.
5 left, can I persuade you? No, don't be shy. Thank you very much. This kind lady here has took it upon herself to give us a cheque for the young carers. Should we give her a big hug? Thank you. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Thank you. This is Lucy and Amy, and their mummies look really, really poorly at the moment. Girls, be careful you don't trip over, okay? See, this is the way they get it out of their system.
And be careful, the plates are very hot.
I know the plates are very hot. Amy's just told me the plates are very hot. It's really nice to see them happy and letting their hair down. They're what makes it all worthwhile, seeing them so happy.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah!
It's genuinely lovely, but should children's welfare be dependent upon some kind people having a posh dinner?
There's only so much that a community should have to help, and it should be the topping up rather than the bread and butter money.
Sadly, Amy and Lucy's mum Nikki passed away early in the new year. Life teaches some children not to hope for much, but Julie and her team continue to support the family.
Poverty, of course, can be a controversial subject. If you want to find out more about how it's portrayed and presented, then visit bbc.co.uk/livingwithpoverty and follow the links to the Open University.